Hello, my name is Mordred Viking and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. We are playing some Kaiserreich as Sweden, and we also have the one additional change where we are also using the Road to 56 techs. So we have a rather extended timeline, which is rather better and rather more fitting for this particular mod, I believe, because things do tend to go late. I do also think that there was another resubscription. There was. Lord Greystroke, thank you very much for the 35-month resubscription. You are just 1 month away from the 36 3 years and the purple wings. I think it's purple. Might be pink though. I can never remember. Well, the stream missed so many of these of late. Hope I see this one and not the VOD. This one's live. You're definitely seeing this one live. And also, I think that I missed Sandrock in the previous stream. Thank you very much for the 33-month Tier 2 resubscription there, Sandrock. Very much appreciate that as well. You are awesome. Alright, let's do this. So what are we doing? Before we do this, what is it that we are actually doing? We are going down the tech thing, the focus tree. We just had the opposition victory, so we can start working on some of those bits. We're currently trying to get our economy going. That was it. Because we'd also quite like to get the oil shale and the SSAB, and then encouraging urbanization. And that's it for now. Are there more of these? Yes, there are. Population growth, manpower and population. Steel mill and aluminium mills, and resource gain efficiency. Interesting. So you've been taking full advantage of the White Knights in Sweden. I was in the Netherlands. We had a family reunion, and most of my Dutch family are farmers. Well, they were farmers. So we're out in a big field in the middle of Gelderland. And it was on one of the really hot days, and it kind of did get the better of me. Just a little bit. Peace deal between Albania and the Ottomans, Bulgaria and the Ottomans. So I'm guessing that Bulgaria is dying. We've already had Black Monday. Why are you triggering again? You're not. This is just the message. On the 3rd of February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. That's a little bit concerning that is triggering again, though. Son of a bitch. I think this game just broke. Yep. Because Germany's not going to be able to get out of Black Monday because they've already gone down the focus tree. Yep. Well, that's really annoying. I don't really know what to do about that. It is an alternate storyline. Because who knows what other events are going to be broken. Was there another Kaiserreich update recently then? I mean, there must have been. Trying to see the latest changes. Yeah, 24th of July, 3 days ago. Well, that's particularly annoying. Is there anything I can do about this? I don't think there is. Just checking what this update was. 21.3. In fact, there have been several. July 19th, July 22nd, July 24th. Oh no, the first of those wasn't. Yeah, some pretty major rebalances. This was a hefty hotfix. This was a really hefty hotfix. Jeez, there's tons of stuff. Look how big this is. Easier way to do it would just be going to the right, and then Kaiserreich just keeps on going. And that's just me scrolling up. Now this is me scrolling down. There you go, that's the end. I guess we start again. I'm going to stop this recording. So here we go. Sweden. In the last decade, Sweden developed itself as a bastion of conservatism under the prosperous rule of Prime Minister Arvid Lindman, profiting from the fruits of the economic growth in Middle Europa during the late 1920s and the early 1930s. However, clouds are gathering over Stockholm. In 1934, Arvid Lindman retired as the Prime Minister and has been succeeded by the less charismatic Gösta Bagge. While the Social Democratic opposition is rallying around the Popular Party leader Per Albin Hansson, this year Bagge's first elections as Prime Minister will be held. Can he hold his ground? And if not, can Sweden's democracy survive this sudden reversal? So for those of you just joining us on YouTube, because this probably will go up onto YouTube, we just had a second Black Monday in the previous Sweden game. So we are going to be starting this one again because apparently there was an update and it broke the save. Right, Kaiserreich, sure it will. Cool, cool, cool. There was something I was going to check. Nope, it's gone. Alright, so focus is, what did we start on last time? I think we did the issues at hand. I know what it was the sound. Bring that back in. Do not show. Do not show. Have to do all the training again too. Well, hopefully I can just move things very rapidly forwards. If memory... Okay, what infrastructure do we get? No, it wasn't a lot. We get one infrastructure in Bothnia, Norrland, Jämtland and Svealand. Bothnia, Nor, Jämt, Sve. Which is these three. Which are probably among the least... no, not necessarily. They do actually have quite a few factories. Let's do that, that. Yeah, there we go. That should keep us going for a bit. And we'll start out just doing convoys for now. Technology. Machine tools. Construction. Engineering. Grab all the garrisons, start them training. Okay. Oh, I pressed J because I've just been playing EU. I confused myself. And then Air Force, which we do start some. Alright, so we can kiss our fuel reserves goodbye. We are not commandeering either of those. We are building a train. And we're just going to make guns for now so we can just get boots on the ground. Cool. Huzzah! Restarting? Something wrong with the old save? Yeah. Second Black Monday. 1 whole year of streams. Damn if that hasn't flown by. Thank you, Mordred. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Silas Harkonnen. And congratulations also on earning those golden wings. Very well deserved. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. Alright. You guys aren't training. Which I think also means the submarines may not be. I was correct. Go. Sweden in 1936. After the Germans stood victorious in the Welsh Creek, Sweden had to adjust to a new world order. As such, few considered it surprising when the Swedish government announced that Sweden would join the German organisation of Middle Europa. Benefiting heavily from this, Arvid Lindman and his Conservatives managed to fend off the Social Democratic attempts to take over through electoral triumph, cementing Sweden on the map as a conservative bulwark of Scandinavia. This may change, however, as Lindman retired 2 years ago. This year, the new leader, Gösta Bagge, who succeeded Lindman as the Prime Minister, will lead his first elections. Will he too be able to fend off his nemesis in the opposition, Per Albin Hansson? For Sverige. Oh my gosh, Kerensky! He's dead. Kornilov storms Moscow, taking advantage of the chaos in Moscow after the assassination of Kerensky. Lavik Kornilov and his officers, with the help of combat squads from Boris Savinkov's NRPR, took to the streets of Moscow to fend off the leftist organizations and trade unionists. After hours of bloody street fighting, Kornilov took full control of Moscow and was sworn in as the Supreme Commander-in-Chief and President of Russia. Nine days of fuel, 8 days of fuel, 7, 6. Right, I'm going to tell you and you to stop. I have to do it individually. The Totalist Charter. Mussolini, Valois, Herzog and other interested parties arrived in Birmingham today to discuss their common ground. Edward VIII, crowned as the King of Great Britain, George V, the last King of Great Britain and Ireland, has ruled the Home Isles themselves, has passed while in exile in Canada. We're still going to run out of power, out of fuel any minute now. I'll have to stop training the planes. Afghanistan declared war on India. Issues at hand is done. There's the first Black Monday. On the 3rd of February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. Fueled by the instability of the market's panic, selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened on Monday morning. After the Welsh Creek, as the British Raj collapsed into turmoil and warfare, the neighbouring kingdom of Afghanistan took advantage of this opportunity to seize Peshawar and Quetta, both border regions of the Dominion. Alright, so what are we going to get next? Probably... Oh, we can't do... We can, but we don't want to do that straight away. We want to get to the elections, right? Oh, we haven't been hit by Black Monday yet. We will very soon, but we haven't yet. So we can get reassured business, which gives civilian factory and dockyard construction. We're not doing those yet. Address the people's fears. We're going to need all of them eventually. So let's go for the population and max factories and state. Begin. Arnacanistes elected in France. The Commune of France is the world's leading syndicalist nation, united as a federation of city communes and directed by the Comité de Salut Public, the chief executive. Blah, 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 blah. The replacement for the disgraced Marceau Pivert arose from the Anarchistes, a movement inspired by the Ukrainian revolutionary Nestor Makhno. The Anarchistes now lead the CSP and favour greater regional freedom and a drastic cut in the CSP's powers. Onwards. 2 days, 1 day. Oh man, they've all stopped already. We just have so little fuel. Alright, all of you, stop. No, seriously, stop. Let's get some fuel back, and then we can make some decisions about what exactly we need training in. It is clear that Black Monday has hit the Austrian Empire hard. The Austro-Hungarian Reichskriegsminister today announced he was recalling divisions stationed in Italian territory, unable to afford the financial burden of keeping them safe from the Socialist Republic of Italy. We might also be able to get to early mobilization. No, that costs 150, not 100. Okay. Right, we could also do some of the national character stuff. The illusion of the Qing hegemony shatters. The facade of Chinese unity, having held together for nearly a decade, has begun to crumble. Rising unrest in the League of Eight Provinces, the economic shock of Black Monday, pretending German retrenchment, and the inability of the national government to deliver a decisive response to either has made one thing clear: Beijing's monopoly on power is broken. I think I probably am going to save the 150 to do this. Anqing clique declared war on Nanjing. League of Eight Provinces declared war on Left Commandang. Huzzah! Oh, you guys are still training. There we go, now we're going to get our stuff back. Shandong clique declared war on Nanjing. And so it begins. Black Monday arrives in Sweden. 2 weeks ago, the German stock market imploded, and now the waves have come crashing to our shores as the first Stockholmsbörsen followed the fate that played out in Berlin, and soon after the rest of the economy followed suit. Since the Weltkrieg, Sweden has become highly dependent on German trade, joining its organisation of Middle Europa together with Denmark. As such, our trade relations became increasingly one-sided, being aimed at countries in the tariff-free zone. Germany, Denmark, and the German puppet states on the Baltic coast, at the cost of other trading partners such as Norway and Great Britain, with whom trading is subject to tariffs, or in the latter case, even embargoes. Herr Minskapare, which I'm guessing means mein Gott, or something like that. Mizet coming in with a 20-month primary sub. Thank you very much for that, Mizet. Very much appreciate the ongoing support. And there we go. We can now do early mobilization. The Krivich Putsch. With Germany's economy shaken by a severe economic crisis, the repercussions were quickly felt in the European hegemon's eastern satellites. White Ruthenia, a small and young nation, was soon rocked by instability. After growing agitation from the radical leftist elements in the country, the army intervened and deposed the elected Social Democratic government. After a brief power struggle, the vacuum was filled by none other than Vaclav Estuchki, leader of the National Populist Peasant Party Green Oak. Historian and writer, Estowski was heavily involved in the White Ruthenia struggle for independence from Russia. Deeply Russophobic, he hopes to purge the country completely of Russian influence and reshape White Ruthenian national identity around the medieval Krivich tribe. With a resurgent Russia, a war of survival now appears inevitable. Restoration of democracy in Australasia. The Australasian Confederation has been under the authoritarian rule of Governor-General William Birdwood since the British invocation of the emergency protocols in 1924. Alright, agricultural reforms are done, so now we can do Crisis Act. Sweden was plunged into economic crisis due to our attachment to the Middle Europa economic bloc. The Riksdag has developed a plan to save our economy by making sweeping economic changes. All of Christendom mourns the death of His Holiness Pope Pius XI, who died following a heart attack after having been in declining health for the past several years, something which rapidly worsened following Black Monday. The Holy Father will soon be interred with the rest of his predecessors in the tomb of the popes. Oswald Mosley, elected chairman of the TUC. In 1936, Trade Union Congress in the Union of Britain was made out to be decisive. Longtime chairman of the TUC, Philip Snowden, declared his resignation. As the dust settled, Oswald Mosley, leader of the Maximist and the Totalist ideologue, has been appointed the new chairman. Mosley's faction supports a strong central government and full state control of the economy, and are much more in favour of military action and British nationalism than any other faction. Gallo seizes control of Ecuador, seemingly unwilling to stand by and watch the relatively liberal government under Arroyo's PLRE won the recent election and risk enfeebling Ecuador. Gallo has launched a successful putsch in Quito. The first international congress, delegates from the socialist nations and political movements around the world gathered in Paris today for the latest in a series of world congresses. Delegates were greeted by a military parade. Cool. Afghanistan, Canada ended their war. Canada. Afghanistan and Canada. Pius the XII elected as the new Pope. Battle Pope. Battle Pope. Catholic faithful in Rome breathed a sigh of relief as the Sistine Chapel's chimney billowed forth white smoke, signifying the election of a new Pope. And there we go, 1936 Crisis Act is done. Research speed and the research bonus for industry. Now we want that one to coincide with the completion of this. So we don't want to do that just yet. So I think what we'll actually do is go back over here and do these. The Social Democrats do not have a monopoly on charity. We must use our position to work towards the betterment of our citizens, especially as the economic downturn and divisive upcoming election seek to tear the intricately woven social fabric. We must ensure the safety and well-being of our citizens. Now, we have the decisions down here. So we have our response to Black Monday. The Swedish economy is tightly connected to the German one, and as such, the economic downturn in Berlin soon found its way to the purse of the average Swede. As such, the Prime Minister has appointed a crisis commission under the Minister of Finance to prevent Sweden from ailing away under the effects. With unemployment rising and tax returns shrinking, this will surely be a daunting task, however. So what we can do is... we want the public works and we want the raw material export. We have 4 million at the moment, but we need to raise a bit more. So cutting military spending drops factory output and division organisation. We're in the middle of Black Monday anyway, so this really doesn't matter. Raising taxes will drop our consumer goods factories, which I'm not hugely in favour of. And then cutting welfare spending will drop our stability and also the popularity of the Social Conservatives. That also kills population. No, we don't want to do that. I think we're going to raise taxes for a year. We'll lose consumer goods. Again, Black Monday. It's fine. And then this is going to mean that we now have the money to do the public works, welfare, and also the raw resource export. And I would very much like to nationalise a major company, but we cannot do this. While we're social conservative. Okay. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Famine breaks out in Sichuan. The province of Sichuan has long struggled with famine. Rocky terrain and unpredictable weather kept populations low until the early Qing era, when widespread land clearances and immigration incentives brought hordes of peasants to the province. In 1925, lengthy drought turned a devastating famine that ravaged the province, leading to hundreds of thousands of deaths and millions of refugees. I'm going to start training the planes again, I think, for a couple of days. There's the electronic engineering. We're going to continue down mechanical computing. Get those research bonuses going. A Republican revolution in Iran. With news reaching Tehran of the Shah's death a few days ago, the people of Persia took to the streets to demand the establishment of a republic. As of last night, it appears the Republican protesters have successfully taken control and pushed the Qajar dynasty out of the country. Persia, or Iran as it's now called, has been a place of instability and troubles ever since the end of the Anglo-Russian occupation of the nation. With the Middle East growing ever increasingly unstable, many wonder if the new Republican government will respond to possible threats of challenges in the region. Lost the stream for a few seconds. Seems to be up now. I think it was just a temporary blip. Still feels really laggy. I've dropped the resolution, so it shouldn't be. Five-year Commemorandum of Ordelan. In May 1931, a large march of strikers marched towards the barracks of the blacklegs who were working at local factories. The police had called in the military for support, and before the day was over, the riots had ended in 5 strikers being killed by military fire. Ever since then, yearly marches are held in memory of the dead workers amongst the socialists, although conservatives claim the workers were armed and attacked them first. The strikes of this year are unusually large. What should we do? So I think from this point on, because we've been making some pretty nice progress actually, I'm going to start doing the polls again. So what I need is Twitch dashboard. Manage poll. So what are we doing about this one? New poll. We'll just make this a 1-minute vote. Right, where's the question mark on this keyboard? There it is. So we can either let them strike or we can break it up. Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. What do you think we should do? You live near Ordeland. It is a different Ordel, though. A very common name in Scandinavia. Ah, interesting. Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. In fact, while that's going, I'm going to go and turn the light on because it's getting dark in here. Back in a second.